The moment Hyun Bin stepped through the front door after a long day of shooting, he expected the usual calm, the quiet embrace of home, and perhaps the soft smile of Son Ye Jin greeting him. But what he encountered wasn't what he or anyone could have imagined. Viewers, I promise you this isn't just another homecoming story. Make sure to subscribe to Kdrama Haven Hub right now, because the twists and emotions in this story are the kind you will remember for weeks. Hyun Bin's steps slowed the second he noticed Son Ye Jin standing in the living room. Her posture was different, almost hesitant, and her gaze wasn't what he was used to. There was a tension in the air, a subtle shift that made his chest tighten. At first, he thought he was imagining things. Maybe she was tired, maybe it was his own exhaustion. But then he realized something was off. What's going on? He asked softly, trying to read her expression. She didn't answer immediately. Her lips pressed together, her eyes flickering as though she were gathering courage, and then in a voice barely above a whisper she said, "What if things don't stay the same?" Those words hit him harder than any scene he had ever acted in. Hyun Bin, the calm, collected, almost untouchable star, felt disbelief, confusion, and a pang of fear all at once. Could it really be that after years of love, support, and moments that fans worldwide admired, there was uncertainty right here in their home? For a few minutes Hyun Bin simply froze. He didn't move, didn't speak, he just stared at her, trying to decode the meaning behind her words. Was it a test, a joke, or something more serious? And then the moment that would define the night unfolded. Son Ye Jin reached into her bag and pulled out an envelope. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't adorned with glitter or ribbons, it was simple, unmarked, and yet it radiated importance. Hyun Bin's hand trembled slightly as he took it, unsure whether to open it immediately or prepare himself for what was inside. The envelope contained letters, photographs, and a single note that read, "I need you to understand me completely, don't look away." At that moment time seemed to freeze. Memories, emotions, and unspoken moments flooded Hyun Bin's mind. The first awkward greetings on set, their shy smiles during early dates, the quiet moments no one else ever saw. The envelope wasn't just paper, it was a portal into Son Ye Jin's deepest vulnerabilities, fears, and love. Viewers, if you think you've seen emotional moments in Kdramas, think again. This was real, it wasn't scripted, it wasn't rehearsed, and fans across the globe were absolutely stunned when clips and hints of this homecoming leaked online. Son Ye Jin didn't say another word. She simply left Hyun Bin holding the envelope, the weight of her honesty pressing on him. He read every line, each word a dagger and a bomb at the same time. Tears welled up, but not from anger or sadness. They were tears of understanding, empathy, and a realization that even the strongest relationships face hidden storms. The letters revealed fears she had kept, private moments of insecurity, personal struggles, doubts about whether she could be fully understood. She expressed that returning home wasn't just about coming back to familiar walls, it was about confronting herself, confronting their relationship, and hoping that Hyun Bin could see her entirely, light and shadows alike. Hyun Bin, known for his stoic exterior, allowed himself to feel everything. His usual calmness was gone, replaced with raw vulnerability. He let himself cry, to feel, to absorb the weight of her words, and in those moments he realized that perfection, what fans often saw, was never the measure of their love. What mattered were these authentic, unfiltered exchanges where truth and emotion could collide without fear. After what felt like hours, Hyun Bin finally looked up, his eyes moist but steady. He whispered her name, and Son Ye Jin returned their gaze, locked, a gaze that spoke of years of shared laughter, moments of pain, and an unspoken commitment to face whatever came next. Without saying a word, she reached out and took his hand. That simple gesture carried more meaning than any grand declaration. It was acknowledgement, reassurance, and trust all at once. Fans online exploded. Clips of the envelope, quotes from the letters, and dramatic reenactments flooded Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. The hashtag Hyun Bin Ye Jin Home Coming trended worldwide, and viewers everywhere were glued to their screens, speculating, theorizing, and sharing their emotional reactions. And the story didn't end there. In the following hours, Son Ye Jin left Hyun Bin a handwritten note tucked under his pillow, expressing gratitude, love, and an honest reflection of her feelings. The simplicity of the act, coupled with its emotional weight, left Hyun Bin speechless. For fans watching, it was a reminder of why they adored these two, not just for their talent, but for their authenticity, vulnerability, and love. The couple didn't magically resolve all their issues that night. Life isn't a drama where everything is neatly wrapped up in 20 episodes, but what they built was more significant, a bridge of understanding, trust, and raw honesty. Over the next few days, subtle gestures and quiet moments continued to reveal the depth of their connection. A shared cup of coffee in the morning, a soft glance across the living room, the way they laughed quietly over inside jokes, all these moments carried a newfound depth. Hyun Bin, once reserved about his emotions, allowed himself to be fully present, and Son Ye Jin, once cautious showed that vulnerability was not weakness but strength. This story resonated deeply with fans because it reflected reality. It reminded viewers that even seemingly perfect couples face fear, doubt, and uncertainty. But it is in confronting these emotions together that relationships grow stronger. And hey, race a twist that shocked everyone. A video snippet showed Hyun Bin holding the letters close to his chest, eyes closed, a silent vow visible in his expression. No one had expected such raw emotion, and yet it was perfectly human. Fans flooded forums with emotional responses, writing messages like, "This is the most real love story I've ever seen, and even stars have moments like this." And it's beautiful. As the days passed, every gesture, every smile, and even the smallest conversation carried the weight of that night's revelation. Hyun Bin and Son Ye Jin were no longer just the iconic couple seen in public. They were humans navigating love, doubt, and honesty. And viewers, this is why you don't want to miss a single update. Make sure to subscribe to Kdrama Haven Hub and hit that notification bell, because the story continues. More heartfelt moments, more revelations, and more intimate glimpses into their lives are coming. The next chapter promises tears, laughter, and love in ways you've never seen before. Even the quiet, private moments became meaningful. A shared meal, a lingering glance, a soft touch, these became symbols of understanding, patience, and resilience. Hyun Bin learned to listen, Son Ye Jin learned to express, and together they discovered that love isn't flawless, it's brave, vulnerable, and real. The fans' reactions were overwhelming. Every fan account, every forum, every news outlet dissected every movement, every glance, every note, and through it all one truth became clear: authenticity matters more than perfection, and the world got a lesson in the strength of honest, vulnerable love. By now, viewers, you're probably wondering what happens next. Will they face more challenges? Will their love be tested again? The answer is yes, but the courage and understanding shown in these moments laid a foundation stronger than any script or scene could ever convey. And this, dear viewers, is why you absolutely must subscribe to Kdrama Haven Hub. Every twist, every revelation, every emotional exchange will be covered, giving you an unfiltered look into the journey of Hyun Bin and Son Ye Jin. Their story continues to unfold, teaching us all that love is not just about appearances, accolades, or public admiration. Love is about courage, honesty, and moments like these, moments that may seem small but carry infinite emotional weight. So don't blink, stay tuned, because every single glance, gesture, and word in the coming days promises to leave you breathless, emotional, and deeply moved. And trust me, viewers, this isn't just a story, it's a lesson, a story of love, vulnerability, and the extraordinary human ability to connect even when life gets complicated. Hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and prepare yourself for a journey that goes beyond drama, beyond celebrity, and deep into the hearts of two people navigating love, honesty, and life together. #Hyun Bin, #Son Ye Jin, #Kdrama, #Kdrama Haven Hub, #Kdrama Couple, #Kdrama News, #Kdrama Reaction, #Kdrama Love Story, #Celebrity Reaction.